Hello everyone. I'm back with another Ancestry DNA video. There was a gap in since the last video, but during that time I went ahead and I got my mother's results and I also got my father's results. May he rest in peace. He did end up passing away a couple of months ago. But to go ahead and just give you a recap, my family is from Haiti. 100%. That's all I know. Don't ask me anything else. Like passe na boule. Like that's it, you know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. These are my father's results. Now, the Ancestry DNA website, they did go ahead and update some things. I'm not sure. Like I'm happy that they're updating things and coming up with new information, but I can't keep up. Like I feel like a dinosaur. I can't keep up with all this. Like I can't keep up with like all the updates in the JavaScript or whatever the hell they're using nowadays. But anyway, so my dad, and this also is kind of confusing to me because even though the things make sense and we match with certain like family members, we have certain cousins, fourth cousins, things like that we match up with, but like the percentages are still a little off. I don't really know what's up with that, but anyway, I'll get into that later. So my father turned out to be 34% Benin Togo. He came out 33% Cameroon Congo, 12% Ivory Coast Ghana, 6% Africa, Southeastern Bantu, and 5% Nigeria. His low confidence regions were Senegal, 2%, and then he has Africa North, 2%, Europe South, 3%, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, 1%, Scandinavia, less than 1%, and Middle East was less than 1%. Now, one update that I really do like about the whole entire Ancestry DNA website is that they came out with this new thing called like migrations and regions. You can see it on the bottom there. It basically shows that we're Afro-Caribbeans, which is correct. We're from the Caribbean. And it says from your regions, Benin, Togo, Cameroon, Congo, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and Senegal. So it shows you probably have relatives who were part of this migration in the past few hundred years. Your connection to this migration is likely through your ancestry from Benin, Togo, Cameroon, Congo, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and Senegal. And it says, it gives you an overview of like how everyone came about, and then you can see other people that match with you as Afro-Caribbean. My father, he actually shows up as Afro-Caribbean, and like they even break it down further into like the lesser Antilles of the Caribbean. So I thought that that was pretty interesting. Then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna show you guys my mother's results once my page loads here. So my mother's results came a little as a shock. A little as a shock to me. I mean, my results kind of came a little as a shock to me as well. But hers came even more as a shock to me. So, yeah. I'm just going to wait till it loads. Alright, so my mother came out 37% Benin Togo. And like I said, we're Haitian, and Haiti, the majority of the slaves that came from West Africa came from Benin and Togo at that time. So that's no surprise, that's no shock. She's 19% Cameroon Congo, 9% Africa Southeastern Bantu, and then she's 8% Iberian Peninsula. She has 4% Mali, 4% Ivory Coast Ghana, 3% Europe West, 2% Senegal, 2% Europe South, 2% Native American, 2% European Jewish, 1% Ireland, Scottish Wales, less than 1% Nigeria, less than 1% Finland, Northwest Russia, less than 1% Europe East, less than 1% Africa, South Central Gavenders, whatever, less than 1% Great Britain, less than 1% Caucasus, less than 1% Middle Eastern, and less than 1% Asia Central. She also was grouped and classified in the Afro-Caribbeans group as well, so that makes for all three of us. And then, of course, we all did match up as family members. My father matched me as my father, my mother matched me as my mother, and I matched them as their daughter. So what came as a shock to me was her high percentage of Iberian Peninsula. Now, I know that the Dominican Republic is literally right there, But we never heard of anybody, like in the family being from that side. So I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not a shock that it popped up in there. It's just a shock to me in that I don't really know how it got there. Now, here's where my confusion lies. My mom, she shows up as 2% European Jewish, but on my test, it showed up that I was 4% European Jewish. It also showed up that I was 25% Benin Togo and 23% Nigerian, but neither of my parents had that high a percent of Nigerian. Like, my dad had 5%, and I think my mom had like 2. So how did I have such a high percent? The only thing that I could think of, like my Benin Togo definitely matched well. The only thing that I could think of is that maybe they just haven't had enough extensive research, or maybe they couldn't read it clearly, and maybe they're just all that close that they can't. I don't know. But, I mean, both of my parents did have Nigeria, and I have Nigeria, so that makes sense. But it's just crazy how I have a higher percentage than them. Also, my European Jewish showed up as 4%, whereas my mother's showed up as 2%. So those things, those are kind of confusing. Sometimes when you're looking at other matches, things like that, like fourth cousins and such, you can see your centimorgans. Centimorgans are units of measurements to measure your DNA. So I may show up as a fourth cousin for someone or with someone, and I might share 23 centimorgans. And then my mother may show up as, you know, a relative to someone. I don't even know the number I just said. I completely forgot it. But let's say, I'm going to change it. I'm going to start over. So let's say I match with someone at like 25 centimorgans. And then my mother matches with someone, but they match at 20 centimorgans. So how do I match with more centimorgans than my mother if she's the one who gave them to me? So, you know what I mean? Like, we'll still match with the people, but how do I have more DNA than my actual parent who passed it down to me? I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, but then it doesn't. So I can't really discredit it because it matches you to the people. You know, it does. I can see who I match with and on what side I match with them from. There are a group of people that I still haven't figured out, like, where they came from. My dad, well, I figured out where they came from. I'm lying. So my dad's, I guess, tiny percent of Irish is, like, very prominent, and it just keeps getting passed down. So he had, like, 25 centimorgans, and I got the exact same number of DNA, 25 centimorgans, and I matched the exact same DNA with these people that are from Ireland. I figured it out. I knew they were from some part up there, but I never knew where it was exactly. So, yeah, that's really it. You know, and I'm really liking the updates. So, Ancestry, definitely keep it up. Keep it coming. I'm loving the little excerpts, you know, the little summaries, the cliff notes or whatever you want to call them. It's cool. So, yeah. It's definitely a good penny spent. I like this information. So, if you're interested in where your background, family, things like that, just get her done. Just get her done. All right. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.